What's up, good people? You got Vell here, aka Vell, and welcome to my channel. Today we are back with another Sweetie Pies episode recap, and today we are taking a trip down memory road and looking at season 1 episode 2, which was titled Happy Birthday Miss Robbie. So with that, let's get into this episode. This particular episode is about Miss Robbie's 71st birthday and the planning of it. And she stated that after 17 years of running her restaurants, she still works almost every day, including holidays, with the exception of the week of her birthday, which is June 16th for those of you who might be out there wondering. Now, Tim is upset because Miss Robbie is placing so much importance on her birthday and is planning to take the whole week off so that she can plan her birthday celebration. While Miss Robbie and Tim are in the office talking about the plans for the party, Charles moseys on in, and he, of course, is late for work. None of us are surprised about that. Miss Robbie is like, well, why are you late? And he then says, because he didn't have a ride. Well, we then find out the reason Charles didn't have a ride is because he has been through 6 cars at that point. So in his confessional, he lists what happened to the cars. The first car his parents took from him, probably out of being irresponsible. The second car he had, he said, was destroyed by running the engine 24/7. So I don't know what that really means. Like, were you getting out the car, parking it, and then going in the house, and then just still leaving the car running, which would make no sense. So I'm not sure what that meant, but that's what he said. The third car, he crashed it. The fourth car, he crashed it. The fifth car he purchased, he said he crashed after only 3 weeks of having it. And then he said he also burned out the engine. So he's just a mess with cars. And then the sixth car, he said he sped it to death, which I don't know what that means. Like, because cars can go fast, and when I was a teenager, I drove my cars fast and I didn't speed them to death. So I don't know what that meant. But anyway, Charles has had 6 cars, and at this point, he's still carless. But we're used to this. Again, Charles is irresponsible, and as we're going back down memory lane and kind of breaking it apart, we see that it is like on a high level. Miss Robbie then calls a staff meeting to tell them that she'll be taking a week off. She's asking them to still please work as normally, act as if she's there, still cursing them out to get them to perform. And she was saying she basically, this is her birthday, she needed that time to rest. Please don't call her unless the restaurants are on fire. Then she adds to it, no one can be fired while she's gone. Well, then Tim has a problem with this because he said, well, it's like telling the sheriff is in charge, but then taking his gun. So then he has no real power. But Miss Robbie was not backing down. She was saying, hey, we can't afford to be losing employees, so you're gonna have to basically deal with it. And if you're managing right, then you won't need to fire anybody anyway. So then in Miss Robbie's confessional, she says that if Tim one day told her she no longer had to come to the restaurants to work, Tim would be the perfect son that she prayed and dreamed of. But then she says, I don't have that, so I'm stuck with my Tim. So it shows that she really was, and this was what, the first season still, 2nd episode. It shows that she really was ready to pull away from the restaurants, but she wanted to feel like, hey, for one, that he really wanted to run the restaurants, but for 2, that he could run it the way that it needed to be ran. And she didn't feel like she could do that. And here she is now at 80 years old, 9 years later, and still she is unable to fully let the restaurants go. In the next scene, we're introduced to one of the waitresses, and her name is Jasmine. She is an aspiring singer, and now she has the opportunity to audition for American Idol, which I think was coming to town. And I think I vaguely remember when they were in St. Louis. She's quirky, she's kind of really an artsy person who is just there, as Miss Robbie says, to get a little bit of change. She wasn't into working hard, she wasn't into working a lot of hours, she was just there to get a couple dollars to pay a bill here or there, and she was good with that because she just wanted to be a singer. We then find out that the $3.8 million loan that Miss Robbie was applying for the Upper Crust location has fallen through, and she's telling Tim that while she's off, could he continue to shop for another lender? And she was saying she doesn't care who the lender is at this point. It could be Al Capone, the mob, whoever, and she just wanted that loan. Part of the issue with the previous loan application was that they wanted to use Miss Robbie's home as part of the collateral, and she had major issues with that because she was already putting up both of the restaurants as collateral. And then if you think back on her life story, we know that she was also homeless at a time after her singing career came to an end. And so I can see how, like, experiencing that level of trauma has probably made her at this point thinking, I'm going to ensure that I always have a roof over my head. And so having a home that's paid for, and she knows that no matter what, she is good and she has a roof over her head, I could see her not being willing to risk that even for a bigger dream. And then the other concern from the lender, and while they wanted all this extra collateral, was the age of Miss Montgomery, which was 70 at the time of applying for the loan. And so they figured, hey, I guess we need backing to make sure that if something happens to you, because you are the figurehead of this company, that we are still going to get our money back. Because who knows if the family or Tim would drive the business in the ground. And now, knowing what we know about Tim, God forbid if Ms. Robbie had passed away while he was still free, he probably would have run it in the ground based on what we know now. I'm sure he would have. Financially, not that people would have stopped going, but he would have been acquiring debts and doing too much, and yeah, I'm sure. Crash and burn, bankruptcy, all that good stuff. In the next scene, we're at Tim's and Janae's house. Tim is complaining how overworked and tired he is, and he's mad that he has to run the restaurants for a week without Miss Robbie. And Janae is saying, well, hey, that's your job. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be running the restaurants, and she needs to concentrate on her birthday. It's special. And he was saying, well, he still has to do the cooking for it, and she's looking at 400 to 500 people, which from what they were saying was actually a lower number than previous years. This was actually them bringing the numbers down from the previous year. I think it was 800, and the year prior to that, I think they said it was over 1,000 people that were in attendance. And Sweetie Pies provides all of the food for free for those parties. I'm not sure if they still do the parties. Let me know, any of you from St. Louis who know anything about Miss Robbie's party, let me know if they're still going on. Comment below or hit me up in our text community and direct message me. In the next scene, Charles is talking to Jasmine. He's telling her how he's so happy and proud of her, and he wants her to do a great job with her American Idol audition because her success is going to be his success, because he wants to manage her. So when she makes it on American Idol, he figures he will make it as well as her manager. And I'm like, at that time, Charles, you couldn't even manage keeping cars, much less manage someone's career. So in Jasmine's confessional, she even says the idea is ridiculous. However, Charles is, and I quote, her boo-boo. And so because of that, she's going to basically play along. But there was no way in hell that she was going to hire him as her manager. Even she knew better. Then we go back to Tim, who is at the restaurant. He's now dropping and frying chicken and fish everywhere. And he's mad because D'Angelo is late for work. No call, no show, which is now making Tim have to be on the fryer because the restaurant is about to open and they gotta have the chicken ready for the people, you know, because people don't want their chicken when they get in their door. So while Tim is dropping chicken and fish left and right, Ike is irritating him and teasing him and taunting him, and Tim gets irritated and flicks some flour at him. Well, then this causes horseplay in the kitchen. That's very mature for the manager to flick food and on one of the employees, which of course is going to make everyone think that we're free to play in the kitchen like that. Ike then calls Miss Robbie to tell on Tim to basically get him in trouble. And at this time, I'm thinking Ike is easily in his late 30s. And I'm like, y'all are acting like teenagers up in that kitchen. Miss Robbie answers the phone. She's kind of irritated because she's like, hey, can y'all just let me enjoy my vacation? This is all I asked for. I just asked, don't call me unless it's an emergency. If the restaurants aren't on fire, please do not call me. And so Tim is on the other side and he's telling Ike to get off the phone and he's getting irritated. And then once again, we see Tim's anger peering out and he's trying to get the phone from Ike, and he has that menacing look that we're used to seeing now. And again, this is only episode 2. So in episode 1, we see Tim's anger. Now in episode 2, we see a peek into Tim's anger. I'm starting to see a theme here, people. In the next scene, we see the bipolar part of Tim where he's doing a nice gesture for his mom. He has flown in one of the original Ikettes so that she could be a part of Miss Robbie's party. Miss Robbie was really looking forward to singing on stage with some of her former bandmates, and she was told that this friend couldn't make it, but it was all a surprise. In the next scene, we have Tim and Janae sitting down with Charles at the restaurant. They're just talking to him and catching up, and he's sharing his brilliant idea of how he's going to manage Jasmine's career once she wins American Idol. Janae then asks Charles, what did you know about managing someone's career? He says, nothing, but I can wing it. And then he goes into, I do have management experience managing the restaurants from time to time. And then Janae says, and she's shady on the low, she says, and what happened with that when you were managing the restaurants? And he says, I got fired. So the only example you have, Charles, is the one that you failed miserably at. So in Janae's confessional, she says that Charles is the little cousin that she never wanted, and he's more trouble than he's worth. However, she says he's sweet as pie and he's a good person. He's just a little naive to life. And we see this. We really see this. I think he was sheltered, and then there are just some other things going on with Charles, and spoiled and all of that. And so we can see the disconnect from Charles and the real world, for sure. I'm curious how much he's matured since then. So after that, Charles says that's pretty much the big picture for him managing Jasmine's career. And then Tim says, I see the picture, but it ain't looking big or bright. In the next scene, Miss Robbie, her friends, Tim, everyone is prepping for the big party. Tim is cooking a ton of food at the restaurants, including a 100-pound pig. Miss Robbie rented a coach-sized party bus for all of her close friends and family so that they could travel to the party together. So we arrive at the party. The party is a huge success. As they were saying, they get so many people that attend the party. This year was the smallest party they've ever had at 400 or 500 people. It was so many people trying to attend that they had to stop letting people in at a certain point. So there were people outside that just couldn't get in because of capacity. Miss Robbie's there. She's working the room. She's shaking hands. She's kissing babies, loving on people. And then she notices in the midst of all of that, that the food line, which is literally stretched, seems like to the front of the building, is not moving. And so that's disturbing her spirit because she's a restaurateur and she likes to see her lines moving. So she goes in the kitchen and starts to work to try to get the line moving with the food and get some organization with it. Everyone's telling her, you know, Janae is like, I got this, you shouldn't be doing this, just tell me what to do. And Miss Robbie's pretty much like, let me do this because I don't have time to tell you what to do when I can just get it done. So Miss Robbie's working it, she gets her lines down, etc. And then we go to the party part of it. They're having a great time. Miss Robbie and the original ICAS and some of the ICAS that preceded them are now on stage, and they are performing and dancing and having a good time. And then Tim comes his goofball tail up there. He's dressed as a makeshift Ike / Tina with the blonde hair. I don't know, the hair and the outfit wasn't working. He was dressed like Ike and his hair looked like Tina. So anyway, he's up there and he's goofballing around and dancing. Miss Robbie is actually enjoying this, and this was Tim's surprise to her. He figured that he would put a smile on her face by acting like a goofball. He did such. She was happy. She said it was one of the best memories from that night. In their confessional together, where they're recapping the party and what a great time they had, Tim then says that the party was a huge hit thanks to him. Now, all I saw him do was cook food. I guess if he figured his one role made the whole party, I guess that's, he's right, I guess. Miss Robbie then sarcastically echoes that yes, it was a huge success, I guess thanks to him. But then she adds, by the way, I think the ribs were a little dry, but I appreciate you, and we ate them anyway. So I love it because it was like shade, sarcasm and shade at the same time. So that brought that episode to a close, and it's just been great, like going down memory lane. We're only on the second full episode recap, but this has been fun, and I think you guys are enjoying it. So there will be more, and if you are new to this channel and you did not subscribe in the beginning, this will be another opportunity for you to join our EOV subscriber family. The doors of the church are now open. Come one, come all. So subscribe below and click that notification bell, and you will be welcomed into the family. It's just that simple. And if you're already a part of the EOV family, you're already a part of the comment below gang, the notification gang, and the text community, I appreciate you guys. I love you immensely. Let's keep growing. Please add that extra layer of support by liking this video below so that we can continue to grow on our road to 10,000 subscribers. We are not too far away, people. We're about 2,500 subscribers away from that number, so hey, we'll be there before you know it. So with that, till the next time when I upload the next video, take care, be blessed, peace.